when you watch the Warriors respond, you see a team that still has the belief that it is possible to do what they want to do. So many teams would have fallen on their face. They would have folded the tent in the first half after things got rough. They didn't. In the moment, it was huge. And let's see what happens again over the next couple weeks. That was one of the best comeback wins from when it felt like the ground was shaking underneath, Joe, that I have seen in years. Forget just the Warriors. And obviously, I am more prone to what they do because I've followed them for so many years. But in the league, it is so rare to lose the way they did, have the controversy after what Draymond said and what Jimmy's saying, and you're seeing all these young guys looking around, and you're kind of going, oh, it's not even Thanksgiving and things are bad. It could be a real problem. For them to respond the way they did was just gigantic. And I would tell you guys, for context, I walked into that locker room in San Antonio before the game. I'm thinking, how's this going to go? Is it going to be quiet? Is there going to be a lot of tension? And I would tell you that when I walked in there, I went, this feels okay. It felt like they worked through whatever was going on, and there was clearly a lot. And, Joe, I thought one of the most telling quotes of the whole night was Steph saying, somebody asked on the scale of 1 to 10, what was this? And Steph says a 4, a solid 4. And I thought, so it did register. So they were feeling this. The fact that the Warriors were able to play the way they did after all that, and Steph is still Steph. He is the baddest dude there is. There's a reason why he gets all the praise that he does. But for them to win that game the way in which they did in that 24-hour span was absolutely gigantic.
So, okay, is all that gone? Is it just we're going to change the rotations and whatever finger pointing there might have been, whether it was amongst the stars, from the stars to the young guys, whatever, however it was to be interpreted, for the time being, is all of that out of the way?
It's gone for now if they win. And that really is the NBA secret sauce here. If you keep winning, all that stuff fades away. But to say, well, it's gone forever because they won, I think it's too soon for that. Let's see what happens on the rest of this road trip. It was crucial that they responded the way they did. And I think what was even more telling, guys, is they fall down 16 in the first half, and you're going, this is going to get really ugly really fast. But I never saw them on the floor kind of looking at each other going, here we go again. There was a renewed sense of, we're all in this together. Let's work our way through it. So it was a really good first step. I think that there is a strong chance that it could be a turning point early in the year. But let's give it another week or two to see how it goes. Because when stuff becomes that public, and then there's the response after the comments were made on social media and how everybody was kind of looking at the way things were. And Steph and Kerr said that there was a film session. They got stuff kind of out in the open. Let's see how everybody responds moving forward.
Is it a coincidence or a cause and effect that when Kuminga came out of that game, the team played a lot better?
I think for right now, it's just everybody knew their roles and they got refocused. I'm not going to sit there and say, Kuminga's off the floor and therefore everything fell into place. Because when you watch Kuminga the first couple weeks of the season, he was one of the better players that they had. And I don't think those guys forgot that. I think they know full well what he can bring to this team. And, Joe, the Warriors are going to need Kuminga. I mean, let's be real. They need the athleticism. They need what he can bring. But if you're Jonathan Kuminga, I think this is the most important part of your entire season right now, because you had early success. Now you've got this time where you didn't play well. Now he's hurt. He's not feeling good. He got pulled out of the starting lineup. You want to show the Warriors, and even more importantly, the rest of the league, that you have turned a corner in your career professionally. How do you handle this? Because I think what's really important here is Kuminga is going to get another chance. He's going to get that next time somewhere, whether it's in a couple weeks, it's in a month from now. He's going to get the chance and the opportunity to show what he can do again. How does he respond right now in the moment where things don't look very good? And it has turned a little bit. How does he get looked at in that room when he has the chance to respond? How does he play? I think all those are crucial questions he's got to answer. But in the short term, I don't think there's any question. He wasn't playing well. Kerr went with Moody, who started really shooting the ball well. Will Richard continues to impress that staff. And as much as people want to crush Pods, Joe, you know who made a couple really big plays late in that game? It was Pods. It was GP2. So they were getting the contributions up and down the roster. You add that with Steph, with Jimmy, and Draymond. I thought Kerr put it really well. You go 1 for 10, and you look at box score, you go, what the hell did Draymond do?
Yeah.
Draymond was unbelievable against Wembanyama, and he knew that all eyes were on him after what he said, and he rose to the challenge in a major way.
You mentioned Jonathan Kuminga. How's his knee doing? Concern level, Nick, from Kerr, from JK? What's going on with the knee?
It didn't feel like there was any kind of major concern, Joe. We'll see if he's able to go through shoot-around and how he's feeling. I think the fact that he tried to go out there means that he was feeling okay. Maybe they give it another day or two, but I don't think there's any kind of major concern. He's going to miss a lot of time unless something pops up on an MRI or something here.
So JK's out, Moses Moody in. Would you expect Moses to kind of stay in this starting unit right now? He's been playing really well. I haven't seen him this confident in his three-point shot since maybe the end of last regular season.
Joe, not only would I expect Moses to be in that starting lineup moving forward, what I would give him a lot of praise for is when you watched him the last few years, you kind of got the sense, well, is this all there's going to be within his game? And to Moody's credit, he has put in a ton of work. And what you're seeing is he's put the work in behind the scenes, but it's starting to show when they need him the most. That shot is falling down at a much higher rate than it was earlier in his career. The defense and his ability to move around the floor is pretty solid. He has earned Kerr's trust. And when the coaching staff believes that you can go in and do the job, they're going to give you more opportunities to prove it. So I think in his case, what slowed him down was he got hurt at the beginning of training camp. He wasn't able to find any kind of rhythm. Now he's got this chance. Unless he really falls off and starts struggling offensively, I would expect to see him out there moving forward.
What's the thing that Warrior fans aren't talking about that they should be talking about?
The mental toughness within this group really is still pretty strong. Because one more time, Joe, and I would shout this from the mountaintops after that game, so many other teams in the league could not withstand the drama that built up not only during that Thunder game, because I thought, again, one of the most telling quotes in that room was Jimmy Butler said, yeah, it was humbling. We saw what we want to be. We saw the top-level team that there is. And I still don't think, guys, as much as the Warriors are feeling good today, I don't think they're beating the Thunder in a seven-game series.
Thunder.
But let's see if they can get there to that point to even have that chance. But, Joe, when you watch the Warriors respond, you see a team that still has the belief that it is possible to do what they want to do. So many teams would have fallen on their face. They would have folded the tent in the first half after things got rough, and they would have said, uh-oh, we got real big problems. They didn't. In the moment, it was huge, and let's see what happens again over the next couple weeks. But the mental toughness of this group to respond the way they did should get a lot of spotlight because they went into a rougher environment where you're playing against one of the very best players that there is in the league, and they were able to find some togetherness out of what was a really, really rough game in Oklahoma.
Maybe Draymond and Jimmy were talking about the young guys and their post-game comments, and, Podziemski and his comments about, taking over for Steph, and, maybe the white Shohei Ohtani comments, maybe those things starting to catch up in the organization. I mean, my partner over here is rolling his eyes, and apparently people in the organization were too. What did you make of that? And like, not do that, do you agree, but, Pods in his standing within the Warriors organization right now is what?
Pods is a guy who needs to just go out and play the way he did late in that fourth quarter. Nothing else that Pods can do is going to be more important than showing it on the floor. And I think that the issue when you have somebody who has that much confidence, and guys, I'd take you back to about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Draymond actually hit on this long before all this stuff started, and Pods didn't really play well to start the year. Draymond said any young player has to be cautious because when you come out and you say some of the things that Pods did, you bring a huge spotlight on you. And when you're not backing that up in a way that reflects on winning, yeah, people in the organization are going, what's going on here? So the best thing that Pods can do specifically is just go out, keep playing hard, and keep making difference-making plays throughout games. And I keep going back to the end of that game because he made another turnover, and Kerr could have pulled him midway through the fourth, and he didn't. And he stuck with him. And then he made a couple nice defensive plays. He hit a shot. When you watch him, you see why there's still belief there. I think what Pods is learning in his third season is you can have all the confidence in the world, but when you're outspoken about it and then you don't immediately back it up, there are going to be some eye rolls within. But it's like what Draymond said a little while ago. You don't want to shake a young player's confidence to a point where they don't feel it anymore. So it is a balance that he's got to kind of work his way through. But I think it was a good early sign. And when you're watching the Warriors and you're still believing that they can potentially do what they want to do, the issue, guys, as we know, is Steph is Steph, but he's 37 years old. Draymond and Jimmy are way up there in age too, but as they show, they can still give you that great performance here and there throughout the course of a regular season. The Warriors desperately need Podziemski and Kuminga and Moody to continue their progression. If they don't progress in their own respective careers, we can just stop talking about all this stuff now, because you can't think that a team is going to work their way through all the different things that the Warriors are going through early in the season and get to a point where they can realistically contend for a title. So if you're believing in the Warriors, you have to believe that Pods play can do the talking. And that is what is most important for the younger guys, especially as they go into the next stage of this season.